are certain parameters that will determine the success of any particular farm. We've talked about genetics, we've talked about management practices, paying attention to them, and actually the other very vital and important component that will determine the success of any particular farm is the nutrition. And as much as you're working to having a successful farm, you equally need to pay much attention to your nutrition. What am I giving these particular animals at what particular time? And despite the fact that you're paying attention to gaining weight or getting milk, if it's a milker, you also need to pay attention to the economic part. How much am I spending on feeding and how much am I making? And that's why we have Daktari today in the show telling us much about nutrition and the feeds and at what amount and type of feed to give animals, more specific shots, sheep and goats. Hope you like it.
I'm a veterinary surgeon, a graduate from Egerton University. I currently practice in Nakuru, offering veterinary services around Nakuru County and also surrounding counties such as Nyandarua. I offer services to farmers doing livestock farming, and also I take care of small animals. That is, I'm a mixed veterinarian who does large animal practice and small animal practice. My services include veterinary consultations, disease controls, treatment of clinical conditions, and also breeding services. On my hands, this is lucerne, which is a protein source to animals. This lucerne I'm holding here, we farm it and use it in our farm here at Penzi Farm as a protein source. Lucerne, as you all know, you don't feed your animals lucerne as fresh from the farm. Here you have to eat it, thereby reducing the moisture content, and by doing that you are able to avoid conditions such as bloat, which result from feeds that are high in moisture content. We usually harvest our lucerne at the flowering stage when the protein content is high and the dry matter is low. This is silage, which is one of our main components of our short diet. Our silage is made of maize. We farm our maize here at the farm, and we usually harvest the maize at the duff stage. After we harvest it, we let the crop wilt for some time, like 3 days, depending on the sunlight. After that, we transport it to the farm where we chop it. After we chop it, then we ensilage it, and then we use it our food reserve. You don't have to use maize alone as a silage source. There are other plants which you can use to make silage, including sugar grass. Sugar grass is also a very good source of, is a good animal feed because it have high sugar content, and that sugar content is very essential in animal growth. It ensures faster growth and also a faster growth rate. For sugar grass, you should not feed the animals sugar grass when it is fresh. You have to ensilage, and by ensilaging, there's that fermentation process which usually reduce the volume of the prussic acid, which is toxic or poisonous to animals. If you feed animals sugar grass when it is fresh from the farm, they are likely to have poisoning resulting from that sugar grass. The moment you ensilage your plants, the silage is usually ready in 2 weeks. So from there you can use it. This here, you can see here, we grow it on our farm, and we usually harvest it at the flowering stage. It is one of our main components in feeding our animals here. We don't feed the animals hay in the full length. We usually chop the hay to a length of about 3 to 6 centimeters. As you all know, hay is a very good animal feed. It has a high leafage content, and the leafage is very essential in the animal digestion. It also helps in control of a number of diseases such as bloat and enterotoxemia, which are caused by high digestible feeds. They result when you give animal a highly digestible feed. So when you supplement your feeds with hay, it helps in lowering the digestibility, and animals will not suffer from conditions such as bloat or enterotoxemia. Also, hay is important in ensuring lumen development in young animals. So if you introduce your animals to hay at a young stage, the lumen develop very fast and they're able to gain weight faster. Our hay here, we get it from boma loads, but farmers out there, sometimes they suffer where they buy hay from unscrupulous business persons who are in the business of selling, but they are not in the business of keeping animals. So when you are buying hay outside there, you have to ensure, one, it is of the light grass, that is boma load. Number two, you have to check it does not have mold or rotten. Number three, you have to ensure it is not incorporated with other plants which can be poisonous to your animals. And number four, your hay must be free from pests, because if you get hay from areas which are infested with pests, you are likely to introduce pests such as ticks in your farm. In animal farming, especially sheep and goats, there are different type of routine management practices that are carried out in farms. And to start with, for you to ensure animal is of good health, of good body condition and good health status, the first thing that you start with is the feeding, and that includes the feeding of the feeds and the water. You have to ensure you provide proper feeds which are of high quality and of enough nutrient concentration. Also, the water that you provide to your animals, it have to be clean. The water that you can drink is the water that you should provide to animals. The proper feeding ensures that animals grow fast and they gain enough weight as soon as possible. For an animal to reach faster maturity rate, there are factors that you have to consider, or that there are factors that you have to consider. Number one is what you have discussed, is the feeding. Number two, your animal must be of good genetics. And number three, you have to ensure you provide a conducive environment for that animal. In rearing animals, there are different routine management practices that are carried out depending on the age of the animal. So the common routine management practices that are carried out include the routine deworming, the routine vaccination. In the routine vaccination, there are a number of diseases which you should consider. And in sheep and goats, we consider mostly the enterotoxemia vaccination, which protects the animals against clostridial diseases. Then you ensure we vaccinate against sheep and goat pox. We also vaccinate against blue tongue. We also vaccinate against PPR, and also vaccination against. So for your choice of animal, you have to ensure the prolificity of the animal, the growth rate of the animal, the disease resistance capability of the animal, and also the feed conversion ratio of the animal. So those are some of the factors that you should consider when choosing an animal to keep in your farm. The animal must be must have a higher feed conversion ratio. The animal must be disease resistant. Your animal also must have a higher fertility rate, and also the animal is free of disease, it is free of any malformation, and also is of a high standard in that considering the breed you're buying. Farming as an enterprise is one of the greatest opportunities that can employ and still have employed a lot of people in Kenya. Here at Penzi Farm, the farm is owned by Samson Getich, who is our great friend. He lands the farm from Australia, thereby creating a lot of opportunities to local people and also people from other parts of Kenya. We have a diverse number of staff coming from different parts of Kenya. So as aspiring farmers is one of the enterprises that I can advise you to venture in. One, it will create employment. Number two, it will be a source of income to the farmer. Number three, it will act as a food security measure for our country.